Hello and happy New Year's Eve. Since we are on the cusp of 2020, I thought that it was about time I told you what my 2020 goals are. Reading goals specifically. I don't think I have any personal goals. I should probably work on that, but I've worked on my reading goals, so we'll just talk about those. First up, I would like to continue with the series that I mentioned in this video, and I would also like to start the series that I mentioned in this video. I'd also like to continue with one of the goals that I set myself last year, which was to read more broadly in genres. I've done pretty well with that this year, and I'd like to continue that into 2020. And specifically, I would like to continue trying genres that I didn't delve so far into this year. So things like classics and horror and thrillers and that kind of thing. If you have any genres that you want to recommend to me to give a go this year, then please do leave them down below. I'm sure that there are many genres that I haven't even thought of, so I'm always open to suggestions. I would also like to continue with a couple of series that I started on my channel this year, which are my challenge videos and my author trials videos. So if you haven't seen those, essentially what they are is the challenge videos is I set myself a specific reading challenge and read 5 books in a specific genre, or that were published in a specific year, or that have been picked for me by somebody else, things like that. And my author trials are to read multiple books by an author that I haven't tried before. So my first author trials video was Christina Lauren. I read 5 Christina Lauren books because I'd never read anything by those 2 authors before, and so I wanted to give them a go. And I definitely want to continue trying new authors in 2020 and putting myself to the test and reading books within a specific category. So do keep your eyes open for those videos. They will be coming up throughout 2020. I'd also like to continue with the book club that I set up on my channel towards the end of the year. In January, we are reading Dracula by Bram Stoker, and I will link the announcement video for that up above for you. But if you do want to participate and you haven't already said so, then feel free to just leave a comment down below in this video letting me know your Instagram handle, and I will happily join you to our chat. We'll be reading Dracula from the 1st to the 31st of January, and then sometime around the middle of January I will put up a new poll for the February book, and a week after that I will put up the announcement for the February book. And that's something that I really want to continue throughout 2020 because I've been having a really great time reading books with you and discussing them with you, and just getting to chat a little bit more one-on-one with those of you who want to, and it's been really fun, so I definitely want to continue that. Following on from my trying new genres goal, I also want to build on what I achieved this year in terms of trying new genres, because I found new genres that I didn't think that I would like that I actually do like, and I rediscovered genres that I hadn't read for a while that I now want to continue reading from. So I want to try to incorporate at least one contemporary or romance book, one historical fiction book, and one science fiction book every single month. Now that might be a challenge. I might not be able to do all 3 of those every single month because I might just not have any books on my shelves that fit that category, and I don't necessarily want to buy books just for the sake of completing this particular goal, but I want to prioritise continuing to read within those genres is basically what I'm saying, on a regular monthly basis. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to fit one from each of those categories in each month, and if I can't fit one from each of those categories, then at least one from one of those categories every month. One of the goals that I didn't do so well with in 2019 was filming monthly book reviews. So doing a dedicated book review video at least once every month. And I did it some months, I didn't do it every month, I didn't really stick to it. I think I'm still a little bit afraid of filming book reviews, which is silly because once I sit down and start filming them, it's absolutely fine. I edit them and they're fine. I put them out there and they're fine. So I don't know why I consistently don't do them, but I really want to continue to make an effort this year to do monthly book reviews. So I want to do at least one dedicated book review every single month this year, and I think what I might try to do is put a poll in the top corner of my TBR videos asking you to choose which of the books from my TBR you would like me to do a dedicated review for at the end of the month. I'm going to be trying to keep my TBRs fairly small, as I usually do, just because I like that flexibility of being able to switch it around. But if there's a specific book that you want to hear my thoughts on, then I will know to prioritise that and film a dedicated review. So I hope that that will help me to remain accountable for this particular goal, and will also allow you guys to see the reviews that you actually want to see. I would also, throughout the course of 2020, like to read all of the books that are on my current physical TBR. Now, I'm not saying that I won't buy more books and that my physical TBR at the end of 2020 will be non-existent, because I absolutely will buy more books. It's just who I am, it's what I do, it will happen. But I recently, in fact yesterday, posted a video which will be up here with my physical TBR, which currently stands at 69 books. And with a couple of exceptions of ones that I'm not 100% sure are going to work for me, I would like to read all of them, and so I'd like to make it a priority this year to at least try to read every single one of those 69 books. And tacking on to that, I want to allow myself to DNF books if I don't like them. I historically am not great at DNFing books because I feel a little bit guilty. I feel like, you know, I should give this book a chance, it might get better, I might enjoy it, but life's too short. And I also feel like I don't want to have wasted my time reading a book for a couple of days. But I think I need to be a little bit more firm with myself, which then leads me on to my next goal, which is to think less about the number of books that I'm reading. So this year I have read loads of books and I've really enjoyed myself reading tons and tons of books, but a lot of the time I was really focused on that number. I was really focused on the volume of books that I read and not necessarily whether or not I was actually enjoying those books all the way through. And like I just said, it's because I don't want to feel like I've wasted my time by spending 2 or 3 days reading a book that I then decide, actually, this isn't for me, I'm going to put it down and not finish it, and then it not count towards my reading goal at the end of the year. So I am still going to set a reading goal for 2020, and I'm going to set that at 100 books, but I'm going to be a little bit kinder to myself, and if I don't like a book, I'm going to DNF it, and I'm not going to stress myself out over the fact that I've spent a few days on something that isn't going to count towards my reading goal at the end of the year. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. We'll see how that one goes, but that is what I would like to do. So I would like to read all of the current books on my physical TBR, but give myself permission to DNF books if I'm not feeling them, and read 100 books in the year, but not focus too much on that number, and focus instead on enjoying the books and taking my time with them when time needs to be taken. And then finally, potentially an incredibly unachievable goal. I already realised this, so I am going to kind of do this quite loosely, but as you may know, my favourite author is Brandon Sanderson, and he's a pretty prolific author. He has an awful lot of books out. I didn't even realise how many books he had out until I was starting to plan this particular goal, because originally my goal was to read every single book he's ever published by the end of 2020. And having looked at how many books he has out, that's absolutely no way going to happen, because he currently has 14 novels. Out of the ones that I haven't read, he has 14 novels, 3 medium-length books, and 17 short stories. I'd have to read 3 of his books every single month throughout the entire of 2020 to be able to finish all of those. And I mean, I have other goals. I want to read broadly, I want to read the books on my TBR, etc, etc. So that's just not feasible. But I do still want to read a lot more from Brandon Sanderson because he is my favourite author and I want to read more of his books. So I'm going to prioritise starting off with finishing off the Cosmere. At the moment I only have Mistborn Second Era and a few short stories that I can't read until I've read Mistborn Second Era left in the Cosmere to read. So I'm going to start off with those, and then once I've read those I would like to move on to some of his other series. So Rhythmatist is currently out. That will be a series, but at the moment it's the only book in that series. And then there's the Reckoners series, which I believe is young adult fantasy / superhero type books. There's the Alcatraz series, there are the Legion books, and actually I think there's another Cosmere book that I haven't read because the 3rd volume in White Sand just came out recently as well, I think. So I would like to prioritise those, and then probably his other short stories for reading this year. But essentially I would like to read at least one Sanderson book every month throughout the year, if not more. I know I will definitely be reading one in November because that's when Stormlight Book 4 comes out, and I'm very excited and I cannot wait to read it. And that one will definitely be happening. In terms of what other ones I'll be doing and when, you'll have to just keep an eye on my TBR videos because I honestly have no idea, other than the fact that I'm pretty sure I'm going to start with Alloy of Law in January. And that's it for my 2020 reading goals. I would really love to hear from you. If you have any goals that you've set for yourself this year, please let me know down in the comments. But that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like this from me, then do think about hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks! Bye!